Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, it seems California is collapsing, the great Golden State. And it kind of ends up happening when you have a complete mismanagement of your entire state. It kind of happens like that. You have issues that Gavin Newsom can't seem to somehow fix. And let's go about all the child trafficking that's also happening in Sacramento, because obviously the Democrats are pro-child trafficking. I mean, I don't know, be considering the fact they just allow illegals to go through our borders, but that's nonetheless. What we have here, my friends, are major insurer gives brutal ultimatum to entire state. Let us put up prices by 50% or we will leave. Oh, God, that hurts. That is not good. And what's worse, these people cannot afford, in California, afford a 50% increase of insurance. They literally just can't. And this is a complete fall of California. The insurance companies are leaving the state in droves, and this is just one of them. California's largest insurer has given the state's government an ultimatum as the cost of providing cover continues to soar. State Farm on Thursday told California's Department of Insurance to let them raise home insurance rates for millions of citizens or they will axe cover. The move by the insurance giant comes amid a growing insurance crisis in California. A slew of insurers, including Allstate, Farmers Direct, and State Farm, in a previous move, had limited cover or stopped doing business entirely in the Golden State. They blame the intensifying risk of climate disasters. Well, they could probably say that, but I don't think that's really the case. I think one of them with the PG&E, which should have honestly gone bankrupt entirely and never be able to function at all. But they were allowed because Governor Newsom gave them a bailout, which they never should have. I think that forest mismanagement is one of the big things, because you have a lot of tree huggers here in California, a lot of idiots that think that, no, we can't go clear dead trees in order for new trees to be planted and, clear out some brush so, we can prevent fires like this. But of course, no, we got to keep the trees alive. We got to not clear a path away from dead brush so we can prevent fires. But, it has a lot to do with leftist idiots trying to prevent clearing out dead trees and stuff like that, so that way we don't have these forest fires. As a result, more than half of all Californians say they have been affected by rising property or have been dropped by their insurer in the last year. With so few firms offering cover, they cannot simply move to a new provider. State Farm disclosed it wants to raise prices by 30% for homeowners, 36% for condo owners, and 52% for renters. This has the potential to affect millions of California consumers and the integrity of our residential property insurance market. Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara said as the findings make their way through the proper channels, he added how he is now keen to get to the bottom of the company's financial situation and will conduct an extensive review before deciding on their applications as a result. State Farm's General's latest rates filing raised serious questions about his financial condition. He said of the number one insurance firm in the U.S., he added how a rate hearing may even be necessary, offering his commission an opportunity to hear from the public about the proposed rate changes. Only then, he said, would officials make a decision on whether to improve the requests. A process that could end up taking months. As it stands, the department is averaging 180 days per rate review, with some cases taking even longer, the department spokesperson confirmed to the LA Times. This is largely due to the outsized amount of fires Californians have seen in recent years, with this year's wildfire season now underway. The California Department of Insurance had already covered 2 State Farm requests that saw citizens' home insurance rise drastically, including a 6.9% hike at the start of last year and a 20% rise that began this past March. Mere months later, the company is going to have the state hand in hand again after being pegged to have an approximate $143.2 billion net worth as recently as 2021. At the time, The firm was generating some 87.6 billion in yearly revenue, and this past February, it issued a statement saying its net income for the previous year was an impressive 1.2 billion. That was up more than 100% from the year before. When the Illinois-based insurance provider raked in 588 million in income, still such a move usually signals an insurance career is struggling, something that remains unseen as of writing. However, State Farm said in one of its filings that the purpose of its request was to restore its financial condition, offering the telling statement: if the variance is denied, the further deterioration of surplus is anticipated. The insurer went on to add that it was working toward its long-term sustainability in California, indicating a potential problem spot amongst the places it covers. Back in March, State Farm said it had decided to drop 72,000 customers in the Golden State because of a crisis it said was occurring in all California's insurance market. Only a week earlier, it raised home insurance rates for California customers by 20%. In 2023, Farmers District Direct Insurance announced it was leaving the state entirely, while Allstate said in November 2022 it was no longer writing new policies in California. It said in April this year it was considering a return if the state rolls out new rules to help it mitigate risks. In April, Tokio Marine America Insurance Company and Trans-Pacific Insurance Company said they would stop offering homeowners coverage and umbrella policies. Both companies, owned by Japanese firm Tokio Marine Holdings, together insured 12,556 owners in the state, worth $11.3 million in premiums. In March, California's Insurance Commissioner Laura introduced new policies to address the catastrophic modeling the industry appeared to be in desperate need of due to this outsized wildfire risk and climate change see in the state. The move allowed insurers like State Farm to use a more forward-looking modeling around its pricing policies instead of basing them solely on past trends. And while it was at first welcomed by the industry, companies stopped short of committing to returning to the state. State Farm, however, is the first to push back on the concept of automatic coverage in the state, which was subjected to 7,127 fires in 2023. That was slightly down from the year before, when it was 6,677 fires ravaged California, a relative quiet year according to officials in terms of acreage. In 2021, a total of 8,835 fires were recorded, one of the most ever on record. Then facing unprecedented fire conditions in the worlds of officials, the state saw multiple fires such as the Dixie Fire, McFarland Fire, Calder Fire, and more. In October, some respite was offered, especially to especially susceptible northern regions, when the state received its first rain in over 200 days. That finally reduced the wildfire risk for much of the state, where wildfires occur at a rate well above average when compared with the rest of the country. Rate changes are driven by increased costs and risks and are necessary for State Farm General to deliver on the promises the company makes every day to its customers. The company said in a statement last week following its request, "We continue to look for ways to maintain competitive rates," the company added. Days after this year's wildfire season officially went into effect, the company previously chalked its earlier hikes to a combination of wildfires and inflation. Contributors has raised its construction costs along with prices they say before for reinsurance bought to boost their balance sheets. So again, guys, this is a huge problem for Californians. Remember, this has been something that has been plaguing California for a while. And if insurance is going to start rising, people are going to start leaving California more in mass exodus. It's already a mass exodus in California. And this is just a huge problem. I don't see to where people can start living here in California within height rates, increased insurance, and everything is going to crap. It's absolutely terrible. I may believe my brother had to move a family member out of California because it was so bad. It was nearly double or triple the amount of cost to have her being in this hospital to go to the next state over, which would be Nevada, in order to reduce the cost by twice the amount. Because the insurance and the cost here in California is horrific. It's terrible. People cannot afford to live here anymore. And if they're going to increase the insurance by 50%, it's over. People are just going to leave in droves, and that's going to bottom out all California to where the amount of actual revenue happening in California is going to significantly drop, and the whole state is going to be in trouble yet again. So, guys, Gavin Newsom has destroyed the state, and if they want Gavin Newsom to be part of a president, only people have to go and look at how he's completely mismanaged California and how bad the wildfires are here, and notice that the state is in complete disarray. It's completely in collapse. It's completely being destroyed, and it's all thanks to Governor Newsom and his mismanagement. And he won't acknowledge the situation. And until people start realizing that, it's doomed. Every time I look throughout my neighborhood, houses and people are leaving and up for lots because they can't afford to live here anymore. They're just leaving the state. So it's a complete collapse. This is a complete government mismanagement from Gavin Newsom himself. And I hate to say it, guys, but if we're living in California, if you're living in California, just leave. You'll find better horizons someplace else, and you won't have to be suffering anymore. And you'll be able to actually have insurance because the insurance companies won't be leaving in droves. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.